Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another podcast of Truth Chat Fun. My name is Joe Oriani, and I am your host with the most. I have a couple of announcements to make. First, I'm going to get to the little ones. Sorry, just ate breakfast. Today is Tuesday, 4/4/2023. The first announcement is if you have anybody you want me to interview, or somebody who wants to be interviewed, or has a story to tell, please go to my email, Joe Oriani Podcast at yahoo.com, or go to my website, www.truthchat.fun, where you can leave comments or suggestions you like, and we will talk about it, anything but abortion. There's a lot of news this week, major news, and I'll get to that last. But first of all, I have some things to say. I have been doing this now for 42 weeks. I have people in Ireland, I have people in Russia, I have people in Ukraine, I have people in Britain, I have people in Canada, I have people in the United States. I was thinking of going to a live call-in show for an hour a week, which I would give you a number, which I believe would be toll-free. But to do that, I need suggestions on what day of the week would be best and what hour of day would be best. So you can call in. And remember, it'll be done by vote. If I get no responses, then I'll keep doing this until you get sick of me. So anyway, let's try it. Now, remember, I'm going to say this in the beginning because there's a lot of weird news. If you are not laughing, you are not living. To me, laughter is the best medicine. I make people laugh all the time, and most of the time at my expense, and that's okay. That's what I do. First of all, let's go back to last, I think it was Wednesday. And I'm going to tell you now, when I talk to you about Donald Trump, I know he's getting in court at 2:15 this afternoon, but I'm not putting it on this one. It'll be on a following one because I want to see all the reactions. Anyway, Secretary of State Mayorkas, the Mayorkas, was in front of Congress the other day, and he had no answers to anything. He kept saying the border's fine, nothing wrong with it. I don't know about the guy smoking, but he said it was under control. 4-point-something million people so far have come across illegally. Now, do I blame them? No. I blame the administration for making it so accessible. I believe he wants open borders. I had to laugh because Senator Kennedy from Louisiana, he said, he said to him to his face, you must be in the Milky Way and you must come from another planet because you're the only one that believes that. I actually cracked up laughing. I like him. I like his words and stuff. So I don't know. He's clueless about the cartel with the wristbands that they wear, the different color ones to show you which cartel they belong to so they can get paid. And he had no answers to any other questions. How many people this? How many Chinese people come? Why are the Chinese people coming over? I don't get it. How the hell they get out of China to begin with? And they get to South America. Are they spies? Who knows? You have people in ditches, fentanyl problem still a big thing. And it seems like nobody cares. And speaking of Congress, I'm going to touch on a subject that's not written down in my show notes. Let's talk about Social Security. I collect Social Security. Okay. The problem is it's going to run out in 2031. if they do nothing. If they don't, then I'm gonna get 27%, all of us, decrease in payments. That's a lot of money. Now, I look at it this way, all they have to do, and I know people get upset when you talk about Social Security, but they need to change the retirement age to maybe, I think it's 62 now, go up to 68 or 69. Move it up a little bit so we can get more money into the system, into the coffers. If you people want it when you get this old, that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna be surprised all of a sudden one day and they say, guess what, we're out of money. You have to take a decrease. And I pity the politicians that have to do that. And I feel sorry for the people on the other end who's receiving the money. Hopefully I'm not around by then, so I don't have to give a shit. Yeah. Let's talk about morons. Some idiot in California stole a police car. Nothing new there. The police were chasing him. This idiot was doing 60 to 70 miles per hour. And he decides, before he hits a tree, to jump out of the car. Well, he jumped onto the concrete, rolled over. All I could say to him now is, rest in peace, asshole, because he died. I wouldn't jump out of a car going that fast, never. That's what you get for stealing in the first place. I feel sorry for the car more than I do him. He knew what he was doing, the car did. And then you say, you don't need that many police, do you? You know what? I don't call anybody but the police if I have problems. Why am I gonna call a social worker? What are you gonna do for me? I'm gonna talk the guy down, you got a gun in my face? Well, by the time you get here, you don't have a gun anyway. No, I'd rather keep my gun. Florida just passed a law starting July 1st, everybody can carry a concealed gun, don't need a permit. Now, I'm torn on that because I do have my permit. And I do think courses are important so they learn about safety, how to use a gun, how to keep you safely locked up and not mess around with it. There's all these people getting a new gun and say, oh, look, there's, pretend to shoot them. And one of these days, a real bullet's going to come out. I will say the only good thing about that is you go to the store, you don't know who's carrying, who's not. And the bad guys would have got it anyway. So just as well. Some of the good guys may carry it, you know. Oh, do you know, speaking of that, in Fulton, New Jersey, Fulton County, New Jersey, for a 500-mile radius, there are 13 deputies. That is it. That's a lot of land to cover. Oh, by the way, anybody wants to know my surgery went well, and I'm doing much. Yeah, Fetterman is due back to work from Pennsylvania in April 6th, as a matter of fact. I don't know what he's going to do. His wife is probably still in Canada hiding. I don't know why. True love. And tornadoes. 32 people were killed in Arkansas over the weekend in tornadoes. Now, I lived in Arkansas and I've seen tornadoes and I seen what they can do. I told you before, when I first moved to Florida, somebody said to me, a young lady, oh, at least you don't have hurricanes. I think that's how she put it. You had to deal with tornadoes, but at least you don't have to deal with hurricanes. And my reply was, hurricanes you can see coming. Tornadoes happen in the middle of the night, evening, because the cold and hot just stir it all up. I was driving through Oklahoma one time and I witnessed a few. I see what devastation can happen. I see what hurricanes can do too. So, you know, it's just a matter, but I'd rather know something's coming. Where I lived in Arkansas, we didn't have any alarms or anything on your own. But yes, I would definitely not want to see a tornado, though we can still see it here in Florida. I remember seeing one in Pennsylvania. Woo! There it went. Scared the hell out of my daughter because she was by the window and the wind sounded like a train coming through. So we were lucky back then. And like I said, Connecticut wins the title for NCAA basketball. Now I have to tell you this, I don't give a damn. My picks went out the window after the first round, like everybody else. It always happens. But one of these days, since I know nothing about basketball, I'm going to get lucky and win myself $1 billion. But it's impossible to pick. I think one person did it before, and that was it. And I'm not sure how he did it. Because you always have your new surprises, upstart teams that play harder, and the leading teams think they got it made. It's the first place team that played a 16th place team that happened. I think it was Alabama, and they lost. Because that was my pick. So anyway, that I want to talk to you now. Oh God, I hate this, about Trump. I have told you in many recordings that I wish Trump would stand aside and let DeSantis in. But a lot of things have changed my mind. Now, DeSantis is, I wouldn't say he's not my first pick. I told you Haley is. And I wish he goes up there. I also seen something in a poll the other day I found very strange. Liz Cheney is actually boosted up to 10%. Who the hell would vote for her? Not a Republican, I can guarantee it. Not a conservative, guarantee it. Independents know her well enough, they wouldn't vote for her either. They voted her out of office last time because she's two-faced. She just hates Donald Trump along with Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi should know better. I think she still drinks too much wine. She said Trump has a chance to prove his innocence in court. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not how our system works. He doesn't have to prove anything. The state has to prove it. There's a lot of speculation going on about what Donald Trump's stuff will be done this afternoon, what the indictment will be on. I can tell you this, if it's about paying off a hooker or a prostitute or whatever the hell she is, porn star, and he put it through his lawyer, all the members of Congress that money's paid out for them incidents in Congress, they are under sealed stuff. You will never know how much was paid and to who and by who. Now, if you want to get real, I mean, really real, yes, Donald Trump is going to go get indicted this afternoon. I think that he'll be thrown out of court eventually. But it's a bad move because now everybody could see the thing coming with Biden. As soon as he gets out of office, boom, there comes the indictments for Hunter. They don't even pay taxes on money they receive from China or from sales. I don't know what anybody around here is doing free. I guess I got in the wrong line of work. I could be a billionaire if I was a politician. I'd be on a take like everybody else. Free money. Just don't get caught. It's sad that our countries run that way. Oh, speaking of sad, do you remember that Chinese balloon that flew across the country? And we kept being told, oh, don't worry about it. They're not sending anything, China, and we can intercept them. Apparently, found out today that was all lie. China got all the information they needed about our silos and et cetera, et cetera. Now, China's gearing up for war against Taiwan. I think we should build a military base in Taiwan. That may deter, it may not, but it'd be really interesting. China's a mess. Taiwan president is coming over, is going to meet with McCarthy in the Congress on Friday, and China says, no. Who the hell does China think they are? Dictating anything we do. That's like that guy in Turkey, Erdogan, another dictator. That's not a democracy anymore. And Russia keeps bringing out old tanks against Ukraine because they have no more new ones left. Isn't that funny? They have no new ones left. They got to use the rusted old tanks. Sooner or later, Putin's going to use a nuclear bomb. I can almost guarantee it. But hopefully somebody takes him out first. Some of his own people, which is what we need. I don't understand anything anymore. And by the way, speaking of overseas, all my friends overseas who listen to me, please make sure you leave me some comments, or if you have any stories. If you're from Ukraine, you want to be on and tell me some stories that are true, or from Ireland, England, you all have something going on in different countries. I'd be very interested. Some from Brazil, some from Argentina, even some from Russia, if you can get away with it. But the truth, because I always told you the one thing I will never do to you is lie. My opinion is my opinion. That's what I believe. Except I'm not talking about abortion, period. There's no win-win for nobody. Anyway, this is a 15 to 20 minute One, I still would like to do the hour with live call-in. Again, give me some suggestions. And when I get to my 50th show, I will decide and tell you what it's gonna be and what's happening with it. And again, if I get no responses, then you're stuck with me, just like this. But I do need people to, I do ask everybody I meet, you wanna go on there? Oh, I don't have anything to say. Bullshit. Everybody has something to say. I have nothing to say. I just ramble on. And when I do get somebody to interview, if I know a little bit about what they're doing, I research it. So if you look at every interview I've done, 15, 20, whatever they were, you'll notice I ask the right questions. I'm well informed, and I like to be that way. All right, so anyway, with that in mind, I want to get this out before Donald Trump really clogs up the news. Oh, by the way, those who watched WWE wrestling the other day, WrestleMania, I thought it was very entertaining. So with that, I will say goodbye, and hopefully the responses are pouring, and next week I'll let you know if I got any. And again, if not, here I am, sitting here talking to the screen, but I know there's people listening. So my friends overseas, please participate. People in America, please participate. Because everybody has a story. Whether it's funny or it's sad, we all have one. All right. Have a good day. And don't forget, if you're not laughing, you're not living. I am your host, Joe Oriani, signing out for Truth Chat Fun. So please check out my website, and I will see you next week.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink, cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know